Hello, it's Saturday, and I am decided to just jump on. Yesterday's live was not exactly what I wanted it to be, which is kind of funny because I planned all week. I planned, I wanted all these special things, and I wanted it to be perfect, and I worked on just a ton of different things like in the background that you would never even know about. And then yesterday came, and it was a bit of a shit show. It wasn't like I actually enjoyed the amount of time that I was on my live. I liked being able to tell you about stuff and have our little gratitude tea. It just wasn't, what I had planned in my head, but that's okay. So, anyways, today I am feeling creative and I'm going to work on something that I thought would be fun. And I was like, you know what? I'll just turn on the camera and you can come along with me too if you would like. I am going to be. I have a bunch of stuff all around my desk. I forgot to move my keyboard, so just give me 1 second. I have everything all like right here. So I have, this is my Sketchbook Guild sketchbook. You've seen it before. And I'm gonna switch my camera. There we go. That makes it much easier. I painted it black this morning using black gesso. I like that quite a bit. It holds up really well. Anyways, I am going to, okay, so what I want to do next month is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of talk about it a little bit, impromptuly with this live. It's Whispering Pages is a new location in Moon Hollow Forest, and if you haven't guessed already, it's like a bookshop. It's not quite a library, not quite a bookshop, but it's pretty cute. It's fun. So anywho, for moving forward for each month's theme, I want to start making a pocket page at the beginning of that month. And that way I can put my tracker in there or any other little fun, collectibles or printables that I might have. There's a couple of fun printables that will be coming this month. They'll be coming this week. I'm still kind of designing some things and creating some stuff, but I thought, because I didn't think of this idea sooner, unfortunately, I was like, you know what? I want to have then just the first page of my sketchbook be like a pocket page. So I could put anything else like that I've already collected or things like that in here as well. But then, because I had left the first page of my book empty when I first started using this as my Sketchbook Guild sketchbook. It's a lot of sketchbook. Anyway, then I remembered that because the thing that kind of got started or got the Sketchbook Guild started was my Cosmic Gardens page. And that's what this page is. But this was done in a different sketchbook. And I didn't like that. So I painstakingly, carefully cut it out of the other sketchbook and then put it in here. So then that kind of took away my page here. If I had a sketchbook that opened like this instead of like this, then I could just, put the pocket page here because it would open this way. But because it doesn't, it would be upside down. So I'm just going to go with it and I'm going to put it on the front. And that's fine. We'll see how it works. I've never done this before. I've been talking a little loosely about wanting to do some junk journaling and stuff like that. So I feel like it could be kind of fun. I've got like some loose ideas over here I'm gonna bring in, and it's just kind of like a trial run, just to see kind of what I think and kind of maybe work out some kinks or have some fun ideas of what to use kind of in the future as well. So what I have collected so far, I have this big manila envelope, which I am going to adhere to the page, to the cover. So this whole entire envelope will become like part of the cover, if you will. But I have this big piece of scrapbook paper that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it to cover the entire envelope. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I can cut off a little bit here and glue it to the top here if I wanted to. And then I have like this little charm. I was going to put more like to create like little tassels or something. I was trying to figure out a way to be able to use it with this. It's not quite the right thing, I don't think. So I'm not sure how I'm going to adhere this or what I'm still thinking. It's dangerous, I know. But anyways, I want to incorporate this somehow, and I'm going to find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I just have that kind of off to the side, and then I just have more. I think this is embroidery thread, but I wanted something that wasn't really going to, like yarn I didn't want because I didn't want to fray and things like that. So we're going to go with that. And then I have the idea to use also a moon stencil. It's my first time getting to use it. I got this all set. I think I got it on Amazon, unfortunately, but of all different size moons. There's a little baby moon too. I'm going to cut a little baby, just a couple little moon shapes just to stick into the pocket just because I want them in there. Not because they, you know, do anything special, but I just think it'd be cute. So it'll be this pocket, and then this is what you would see. And then I'm going to have this, and then I thought, I typed this up in Canva so I could kind of get maybe the font that I want. I may end up making it a little bit larger, actually. But I want to kind of maybe have the moon sit down here a little bit, and then, because then this would close sometimes, or maybe kind of try to put it sort of in the center, and then have it, like have the Moonbeam Sketchbook Guild kind of like right in the little crescent part. And then I have some other little stencils if I want to like put any other little decor. I could do little shooting stars maybe or something. I don't know for sure, and I don't even know how much I'll get done on here. It's gonna be a lot of like gluing, and I'm gonna have to mute my mic sometimes, try to remind me not to forget whenever I blow dry, because I'll have to blow dry. So what I'm gonna do, and I could use this adhesive to glue down the paper onto the envelope, and also the envelope onto the sketchbook. And I think that would be fine. That would be super fine. But I'm in this mood right now where I just really want to I want to feel it. Like I want to get in there and do some stuff. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to use matte medium. And matte medium is, it's kind of like you can use it like a glue, and it's got like a texture. It's a fun way, I think, to just be able to, to interrupt myself, one of the reasons I love mixed media is just the textures and stuff. So it gives kind of a cool texture, which of course you're not going to really see, I suppose, underneath this. So I'm questioning now for a second if I want to do that. But problem is I might get completely high out of my mind if I try to spray that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to use this. I'm going to use the matte medium. Anyways, it's a glue. You can also put it into acrylic paints, and it extends the life of the paint, I guess. I just don't tend to use it in that fashion. So what I'm going to do first is take some matte medium, take some of this, glue it down onto here. I think that's the way I want to do it. So I think I want to have it glued down already before I start bringing in this piece of paper. Like to glue that on. Again, I didn't have a plan, and then I'm just trying to decide if I want to remove this. See? I'm bringing you along with me, and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's okay. Let's see here. I don't know. Yeah. And I will put some gloves on. I think at least one glove. It can get kind of sticky. And then I use foam brushes. It's kind of hard on your brushes. So just got some foam brushes over here. I'm gonna use these. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you ever watched this, if you've ever made pocket pages, and if you have, if you like it, if you don't like it, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this off to the side. I've been watching some junk journal videos and some other YouTube artists and stuff that make some stuff, and I have a friend who does some stuff. It's just super fun. I'm trying to remember one of the gals I just started watching. Her name's Vicky. I can't think of the name of her channel right now, but I will link it in the description box of this video because you could check her out too. She does some really cool stuff. She just did a junk journal with dollar store items or whatever. It was actually it was kind of neat to see all the stuff she came up with. So I'm going to put that off to the side for a minute so I can spread this on top of that. And I think I may actually hold my breath. Don't do this at home, children. And spray just a little bit of that purpose glue on top of this before I actually put this on. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what works. That's what I have to say about that. So, yesterday. Ooh, this is new. Oh, sweet. Golden is one of my favorite brands, by the way. Yesterday just didn't end up being the day that I thought it was gonna be. It was a very weird. It was a very weird day. A lot of bad, not bad, negative, harsh, hard energies. I don't know. I didn't like it. So today we hit a reset, practicing some gratitude, practicing a little gratitude, doing some little art to celebrate Lunasa, and just being grateful that I'm here today and that I can still create, because that's what I like to do. It's my favorite. And yesterday I just couldn't even muster. I did end up working a little bit on my little tea garden clearing for Jubilee's garden for the tea party yesterday, but I'm still not done with that. And that's, again, I'm trying really hard, and I have noticed a big change in myself because I'm really trying not to freak out about that I don't have it done, and oh my gosh, now we're into August, it's a new quote unquote theme. Well, that's okay. We can, we can multitask, or we can do, I can revisit a page, because I don't want to force myself or rush myself. You gotta hurry up, you gotta get done, because this, that, or the other, the month is ending. If I'm trying new things or trying a new technique, or if I want to enjoy the ride, which enjoying the process seems like a kind of important or fun element to make sure that we have, right? So I'm not really freaking out about with the fact that I haven't finished that page yet, even though we're technically here at the end of the month. All right, I'm going to use some of this, and I shouldn't be, so don't. I do have my window open and I do have fans on, but I'm just going to spritz just a little bit on here, just a bit. This stuff works really well, but it does have a little bit of smell. I would suggest usually I go outside. I'm gonna stand up here for just a second so I can try to glue this on here and make it not too crazy. Usually you do put the matte medium, you do a layer of matte medium and then you would do another layer of matte medium over the top. So I think it's a good thing that I am putting the glue down too. But since I am also going to be putting that paper on top of this as well, that will also be another layer of glue to kind of adhere everything to the edges and everything like that. And then I'm also going to be using Mod Podge to kind of seal everything together. So I think with all that together, I'm hopeful. But who knows? I could have just totally made the dumbest decision ever. If it's not going to stick, I may end up having to use more of that glue. I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. Bad decisions are being made. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna flip it over. Give it a second here. It's funny because, again, like I was already saying, it's like I have like big plans and we're gonna do this and I have it all mapped out. Not mapped out. I don't write a script or plan anything like that whenever I'm gonna do a live or something. But I do kind of have a plan or you know, what I'm gonna be doing, or if there are things I want to talk about. And just none of that happened for me yesterday. So, and today I want to create, and I think it's fun to do it together if you're in the mood for it as well. And if you have any ideas or tips or tricks, if you have a glue you like, if you think there's a better way I could have done that, I would love to know in the comments. Oh my gosh. I'm super excited about this. So I get like my brain is so fried right now trying to remember the exact name of it, but yeah, so it's Whispering Pages is the little bookshop, and you won't meet him right away, but there is a new resident. His name's Fitzy, and he's super cool and super cute. So he is kind of he's the bookshop keeper, if you will. I don't want to use the word owner. He's the bookshop keeper. So that's going to be really fun, and I've got some ideas for us to make the pocket page, I think, and then maybe we'll make some bookmarks, and I'm just excited, and I'm so ready for fall weather, and just ready to kind of, I don't know, I'm a huge fall person, so it's like once August hits and then like the kids go back to school, it feels like it just like goes so fast, and I don't want to rush time. I don't want to rush time at all. I want to make that clear, but it's still like my favorite time of year, so it can be kind of hard not to want to be like, can we just get it done already? But kind of coming up with this theme, and where the shop, the Whispering Pages, like it's like tucked into the forest, but it's like it's almost a part of the forest. It's not just a building in the forest. It's like it's within the trees, where it's like almost immersed in the trees, or the trees are part of the building. And I just imagine this place I want to go, where you walk in and you're walking by it and it's just so inviting. You just can't help but go inside. You look in the window and it looks so cozy, and you just can't help but want to go inside and check it out. And you know, you go inside and it's like you don't even realize it, but you immediately, like, all stress just escapes your body. You know, your shoulders drop, and you feel like you can just take this deep breath. That's what I want, and that's what I imagine the bookshop does for us. So it's just turned into this place that I feel like I wish existed in the real world. So I'm gonna make it exist for us. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be fun. I kind of went about this the wrong way. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a couple of months, and a lot of the details have just kind of immersed in the last week or so. I keep like a little running document of ideas and things, and I kind of let the ideas kind of speak to me. I don't decide for them necessarily, and that might sound weird, I guess, especially if you're not a character developer or writer or something like that, which I'm not, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it these days a lot more than I did. So it's been interesting as I've kind of moved forward with either the places or the residents, like Jubilee and Skittles, how they've just kind of emerged and told me who they are. And the more I think about them, the more I get to know them, and that's been a really fun part of this whole journey. I'm just gonna trim this here. I don't know if I have my trimmer. No, I might have to get up. Yeah, like I said, this was very impromptu. I don't have everything all put together. I don't know where half my stuff is. We're just winging it. Well, I guess if I'm going to go get my cutter, I don't even have to measure that out like that. Okay, I'll be right back. It's just right over on the other side. I have a better one, but I don't know where it is. You know, you have stuff and you stick it places, and then you're like, I don't know what I did with it. You clean, whatever. And then it's just someplace else. Anybody else have that issue? Oops. My other one's a lot nicer. This one's not so nice. Turn that on. Okay. Oh, this paper is like just a hair, just barely fits. Just barely fits. 9. Okay. I like to use the cutter more than scissors because obviously you kind of get a much cleaner line that way. Make it just a little bit longer, I think. There we go. Yeah, this one needs a new blade too. Not too shabby. Oops, sorry about that. It's kind of loud. Okay. It's by 12, I think. A little longer than 12. I guess from the inside. I'm gonna trim off just a tiny bit off the bottom. Just the teeniest bit. Just a tiny bit. I used to, well, I used to scrapbook like forever ago. And I haven't done that in a long time, but I still have like all of my paper, which has been really fun to be able to reuse or whatever in a different way. And through mixed media, whenever I like do collage and stuff like that, I have a lot of paper that I use that for as well. So this was in this paper here. This, if you watched when I made Indra, the mermaid, mixed media mermaid during that live, her tail was made out of a sheet of paper from the same paper pack. So, yes. I like it because it has, you can see in that shimmer. That's actually pretty cool, I think. Okay, so my idea is then that I would then glue this down onto this. And then I need to, which I didn't do, I need to decide what, I need to get a piece of paper, I guess, to my idea was to make the moon itself a pocket, so I could turn it a little bit more like that. And then I guess I would just you would just kind of, I guess I would glue it just like along the edge here so that you could actually still get inside of it. Right? I've never made a pocket. That's so funny. Things I should have thought through beforehand, huh? Oh my goodness. And then I was going to use, I have carbon paper that I was going to use to put, to just trace over that, because I'm not very good at lettering. It's not something I practiced a lot, so I'm not as proficient. And then I'll use a piece of this to cover that up as well. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm just wondering about the pocket. Well, I know this needs to go down, so we're gonna go down with this. We're gonna put this down. I'm not gonna do it now, but I will reinforce this corner, I think. Oops. Sorry about that. my little thing for my wiping my brushes off hit the mouse and it changed the view. I'm glad I noticed it. I don't know how long it was like that, so sorry about that. I'll go back to my art and my face. Oh, too funny. Okay. That way? That works. Alright, I think I'm going to just adhere this sheet of paper real quick to this. That's what I'm gonna do. And again, don't do this at home. Or yeah, don't do this. No, actually it'd be better just to spray it right on here. I always want to protect the boundaries around it because this will shoot out a little bit sometimes. Try to match it up down here on the bottom, and once you put it down it sticks pretty darn good, so you kind of gotta be sure you're where you want to be. Kind of line it up on one edge or another. There. There we go. Sorta. It's kind of over more on this side over here than it is on this side. Working within the constraints of like something like the sketchbook cover where you can't really move it around or whatever makes it a little harder, but I can trim that off. That's not the end of the world or anything. And then what I'll do, because it's got like a little bit of glue on it, is I can just actually kind of paint over that, or well, when I put the Mod Podge over it, actually it'll cover up the stickiness, so that's not going to be a big idea or big deal. Okay, take this glove off. I don't think I need it. For now. I think I might do... Oh wait, I'm gonna wait. I'll glue this on a little bit later. what I think I might do is trace where I want the moon pocket to go. And then trace this on as well. I'm gonna cut that down. These are just little hacks and tricks you can do to try to kind of figure out where you might want to do something, or using the tracing paper is nice. Or not tracing paper, the transfer paper. You could use tracing paper if it's something you could bring over to a light box and then be able to see underneath. With this I can't, so using a transfer paper works out really, really nicely, but you kind of have to have it positioned where you want it to be ahead of time, because then once you put the transfer paper down, you can't see it anymore. So you gotta kind of have it mapped out already. I like the idea of having it slanted a little bit. I think that's kind of cute. But then having that more straight, I guess. Something like that. But then I also kind of feel like maybe I want this to be a little bit more centered. And then I could bring in the other little stencil, maybe with the sun and the stars and the moon or whatever. That would be kind of cute too. So I think I'm just gonna trace this moon so I know where I want to put it, and then I'm gonna figure out how to make a moon pocket, I guess. Oh, I cracked myself up. But at least marking it, then I'll know kind of where I want it to be. And I'll do it in pencil, so if I want to change my mind, I can. I have a darker pencil. All right, I'll move the gap for a second. I haven't had a chance to put my gratitude tea recipe on my Patreon yet, but I plan on doing that within the next few days. Jubilee's hand pie recipe is on my Patreon though already, if you're interested in that. And then the tracker for August and all that, the other little fun printables I have coming, those will be coming this week. My goal was to have them ready by August 1st. Life happens, right? I always want to be ahead, and sometimes I am really ahead. I do really well. Sometimes it just kind of creeps up on you for some reason. And I think I mentioned this before, I don't want to do shoddy work. So if I'm not happy with it yet, I'm going to take a little bit more time so that we can make it better. All right. Keep trimming away at this for a minute. Well, that could be cute. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So then I can take some of my artist tape, which it's just not very sticky. It's sticky, but it doesn't really usually rip things too much, it seems like. So I can use just a tiny bit of that just to kind of hold this in place. And then I can kind of just slide that paper, my transfer paper, just kind of slide that right underneath. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, got that down here, I think. I hope. You can just slide that right underneath. And then you could use like a pen or a pencil, but I like to use, if I can find them. Yep, here we are. They're like dotters, like you can put dots, dotters. I'm sure there's a better name for them, but it's just this little, I don't know if you can see it. I just like to use it, and I'll trace over my letters or whatever it is I'm tracing over instead of using a pencil or something. But whatever works for you is perfectly fine. So if it's an area that's kind of got some chunk to it, then I just will kind of try to fill the whole thing in. That way I know that something's supposed to be thicker or thinner. Getting better at lettering is definitely on my to-do list. And with some of them I can write a little better because I have learned some like different lettering styles. It's just not my, like, I love to watch people that can just do like these amazing, just very beautiful like calligraphy. That's just not something I am proficient in yet. Someday, right? I hope. Or at least better. That's my goal. There's definitely an art form to calligraphy. I have calligraphy pens, markers, all that kind of stuff. I just don't really know how to hold it in order to get the fat, skinny. Guess I'll have to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Gotta love the YouTube. I do love YouTube, actually. I'm a self-taught artist, but through watching many hours of other artists and how they do things and their lessons and stuff, and then going out and creating my own stuff. So, if it wasn't for YouTube, I might not even be here. I like to think I would, but... Well, I wouldn't have a channel if there was no YouTube, but I like to think that I would have worked out, you know, arting and things like that, but gotten better. It's been interesting. It's funny to look back at my old sketchbooks and see, I can see a shift in some ways and to where I kind of started trusting myself maybe a little bit more and not like feeling like I had to do exactly what maybe the lesson was. I think that just comes with time. I mean, you can change, you know, use your own colors or whatever, but at some point I, you know, kind of shifted and started really trusting my own like design instincts and my own knowledge and being able to make things much more my own, which is a cool thing. Very cool. It's a very rainy day here today, so I didn't get to be outside in my garden or anything for Lunasa to harvest or anything. So I'm harvesting creative time. That's my favorite. And then I always like hold on to it for a second and look to make sure looks pretty good. I can see it pretty well on there. It's just enough for me to be able to kind of have a guide, and then I can just slowly take that off. Voila! Okay. Can kind of see it. I feel like it's dark over here today for some reason. Yeah. If that helps. I've got 100 lights on. Just never, just can't tell. Okay, so I got that. I got that. Oops. Got that. So for this, I didn't think that part through. I didn't think about what piece of paper I might want to use to make the pocket out of. This paper set is just sitting right. I can see it from here. I may just use another piece of that and then just cut that out, since it's just right there. So I hate to get up again, but this was very much not planned. So I know sometimes people don't like it when people get up and move around whenever they're on a live, but you know what? We just do what we gotta do. Okay, so this is the set that it's in. So if you recognize, the bubbles is the background of that page, and then the tail, the little ones for her tail. Yeah, it's from this book too. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's her. So the like pearls or whatever, the background page, and then this is a piece of scrapbook paper too. I just used colored pencils to create, if you can see, kind of to create shadows to make it look a little bit more like 3D, like it sticks out. So that's what I used that for. Got all this stuff in my way now. Okay, so let's see what I might want to make the pocket out of. This is kind of a neat one right here. But the shells is kind of cool as well. I also like the flower decisions, guys. This is why I usually try to have all this stuff figured out beforehand. But again, I wasn't really planning on going live. I just was like, oh, you know what, I'm doing this. I was like, maybe I'll film it, and if anybody wants to hang out, then feel free. This is pretty, but I don't know that it's pretty for what I'm doing right now. That's cool. I like the shimmer. This is kind of neat too, but I don't know if, again, I'm not sure. I do like it though. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Also, this page is funny. Or did I just pass it? It says, mermaid hair don't care, I think. Oh yeah, mermaid hair don't care. That's pretty funny. Again, not for what I'm doing today, I don't think, but that is funny for future. This would be kind of cool too, just the... I guess I like this set because it leans into the celestial and the oceanic, if you will, which is totally on brand for me. I do like this too. I just don't. I think this is it. I think this is gonna be it. Well, if I can get it out. There we go. So let me see here. Off to the side. So if I have this and I have it cut out, but it's still gonna, but I want it to be a pocket. I mean, I know it's not like gonna be a deep pocket. That's why I kind of had it, and then it would just, where I could have it glued, you know, down partially, I guess is what I was thinking. And then you'd still be able to kind of just put some little things inside of it. Maybe that'll work. Hopefully, hypothetically. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I'm going to trace this on the back so you don't see my pencil lines. If you're watching this in the future and you see the train wreck of everything I've done so far, feel free to let me know in the comments what I could have done better. A lot of times I will like do some research first before I like start tackling something, but I was like, oh yeah, no, you know what? Today we're just gonna dive right in. I'm just gonna go for it and figure it out, I guess. Like I'm some kind of teenager that doesn't want to listen to their parent tell them to not make mistakes. Or not make mistakes, but try not to make the same mistakes. I've done that with my son and my daughter, actually, and I'm pretty sure my mom did it to me, but I'm like, oh no, I hear what you're saying, and I know what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to go ahead and go out there and mess everything up first, too. Oh, gosh. It'd be alright, I guess, if I had learned from my mistakes the first time. Even the second would be fantastic. Sometimes it's like not till the fourth or fifth that I finally learned, and then I'm like, okay, I probably could have done that better. You just hope the consequences or repercussions aren't so massive that you can't really recover, I suppose. So sometimes I use like with like a mat, like a cutting mat. I'll use something like this to cut this out, but because this is fairly large, I'm gonna go ahead and use the scissors. Not that these are a great choice to use, but they're what I have right next to me, and I think it'll be fine. If it was really intricate, I would definitely use the little scalpel. Oh my goodness. So I need to invest in some better scissors, because these are okay, but they're not great. I know I have some really nice scissors, but I don't know if they're paper scissors or like for like cutting, like, or not cutting, of course they're for cutting. Sewing, and even if I don't sew, I don't want to ruin a pair of scissors if I don't have to, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this a little easier here by cutting this off of this big piece of paper. Gosh. Like I'm in first grade, learn how to cut paper all over again. Oh my goodness. I'm not following very good on the lines either. I have to go back. These are the worst scissors. I have some even better ones, I think, maybe in here. Let me look. I have so many things in so many places, and I've got my little, this might be loud if you hear me shuffling, I'm sorry, but I thought maybe I had a better pair in here. These were good at one time, but I kind of like abused them, so I'm not sure they're very good anymore. If you have a favorite stick or scissor brand, let me know. So it's kind of hard to believe that school starts. Where I live, they go back on the 19th, I think. And the teachers go back on like the 17th or something like that. But I know some other places, they go back this week. That's crazy. You'll have to let me know what your favorite season is. Your fall, summer, winter. My order would go fall, spring, winter, summer. I love summer harvest. I love being able to plant. I love flowers. I love the bees. Like, I love all that. I'm just not a heat person. So I struggle to want to be outside enjoying the weather because it's yucky out. I think I like the fall the best because, well, I like the weather for one thing. But it's like the deep breath before the hustle and bustle of the holidays. It's, I guess, kind of how I feel about it. Plus, I absolutely love Samhain or Halloween. And I tend to be someone who gives energy to people, like gives energy instead of like taking energy. So I feel like I can finally start to kind of recover a little bit because people start to go a little bit more inward sometimes during that time of year. So I feel like I can kind of get a reset for myself. I'm one of those people who's like, I always joke that I'm an extroverted introvert because I could be around people. Like, I love to like teach classes and do that kind of stuff, but I very, very much have to recover from that on my own in silence. So it's interesting. So anyway, so I think I like that time of year. Simply, it just feels like it's kind of the deep breath before we move on to crazy things. Okay. So I got that, and then I think that would work. And then it just would be like a little pocket, but then I'm like, should I reinforce it? Oh man. Because I could get a piece of like I always have extra. I even have a piece of cardboard here. I could use. Is that too much? Like, am I getting too crazy? Am I overthinking? Or I could even just use an old piece of just like watercolor paper that I just keep stashed over here. That way it's just not so loose. It like reinforces it. Maybe that's a good idea. Because it's so, this is like kind of soft, like not flimsy paper, but it's, I think that might be a good idea. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. I think the cardboard's just too much. That's too too stiff, I guess. Let's give it a try, shall we? So what I think I'm gonna do actually is glue it to the paper first and then cut it out. That's what I think I'm gonna do. A lot of cutting today, a lot of cutting, kids. A lot of, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh, I think the only glue I have near me, because I was like, oh, I could just use a glue stick for this, which I could and would probably be a better idea. But I don't know. I'll look really quick one spot that I think I might know where they are, but I don't want to be away from my computer for too long. But I think I might know where they're at, so let me just look. Yes, I did. Look at that. Something was actually where it was. I've reorganized my studio several times and I still can't seem to find things half the time. So this is just regular, silly, like just regular glue stick glue, but I figured that should work for what I'm trying to do right for this for now, I think. We're gonna find out. Again, I didn't think this day through. I didn't think this day or this experiment, this live. I'm just taking you along for the ride. So, thanks for coming. Oh, goodness. People who have done junk journaling forever see this and be like, oh, this girl, she needs some help. And I would agree. Yes, I do. Go. I actually have queued up here some music. I'll kind of put in the background unless I really want to talk a lot, and then I can like mute it again. Okay. Could help. Okay. And if you're hanging out with me, feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you're working on anything. I have to tell you, so if you've been here, you'll know who Flicker is. And Flicker is Moon Hollow Forest resident dragon. And he's super cute and adorable. I did show a picture of his redesign yesterday. Maybe not yesterday, but I think it was the live before. And I'm hoping to get to start painting him this week. But like, it's been like a crazy kind of week, and I've been dealing with a lot of emotions. Many good, don't get me wrong, but just a lot of like different weird stresses, and some of them I put on myself, some just in life in general. And I had this thought to myself, because as I've been saying, like, these characters or residents or whatever are very real to me, because they live in my rent-free head all the time. And I was sitting here and I was like, thought to myself, Flicker, I need you. Like, so he has become my emotional support dragon. And I have this, have you seen they have weighted blankets, but they also have weighted stuffed animals. And I have a weight, my mom got me, it's it's 5 pounds, it's actually kind of bulky, but it's a weighted dinosaur, not a dragon. But I have been using that and mentally imagining that it's Flicker instead. Like, I had it last night in my room, and I was like petting it, and I was just like imagining it was this adorable little dragon. The dinosaur's adorable too, but it's just funny how I was like, I need an emotional support dragon. Don't we all need an emotional support dragon in our lives to bring us pastries and make us smile, and also light people on fire if they're mean to you? Okay, not light them on fire, but be your protector or something as well. Wouldn't that be lovely? I know I would like that. I originally designed Flicker to be one of the fairies that I did in Fei Mei, their companion, their animal companion. So he's for Sylvie. But I'm doing a redesign of the fairies as well, because when I set out to draw a dragon or draw the fairies, I hadn't anticipated creating this whole world of Moon Hollow Forest. But because I have, as I've decided to add residents or characters or whatever you want to call them, friends, if my original idea was based off of a reference, even if it's a reference I've paid for and I'm allowed to use in any way that I would choose, I am redesigning them anyways because I want them to be mine for my own creation. So I haven't started on Roxy or Sylvie's redesigns, but I will at some point. Right now I'm just letting, as I said before, just kind of letting these adorable little guys speak to me in their own time. I have Jubilee, and she's always kind of evolving different things. I finished Skittles. She's amazing. Love her so much. Fitzy is the newest resident, and I've thought about him for about a month. I knew who, like, what entity or what he was going to be, but I hadn't figured out yet, like, what he was going to look like, or I just knew what type of, like, animal or person or whatever he was going to be. And then I finally actually figured that out earlier in the week, this past week, and love it. Love him so much. So you'll get to meet him sometime soon. And I'm still working on Xander. I've talked about Xander. Xander is like a teenage hedgehog, if you will. And I had him pretty figured out, but it just wasn't quite clicking yet. So I didn't want to rush it. So I'm just still, quietly working on him until I know for sure that he's exactly what I'm looking for. But it's ended up being where I think I'm kind of like inventing, or it's not inventing, but like I'm creating this place where I want to live, where I want to be, where people are kind and helpful, and there's a cute bookshop, and just we're living in the freaking upside down, I swear. I can't even. So it's very it can be very, very tough, I feel like. So it's like having a kind of a place where I can think of that would be a really cool place to live or whatever seems pretty neat to me. So I think that's kind of what's been happening. And Jubilee kind of turned out to be, I think I said this yesterday even, just sort of like she's a big heart for everything, and Skittles is the joy. She's just crazy joy bringer. So I like that so much. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do, because I am gonna still use Mod Podge over this, but I want to kind of make sure I have things down already that I might want to put before I would put the layer in Mod Podge. And I'm not gonna adhere the pocket, I don't think, until I've already done the Mod Podge 2. That's what I'm thinking. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. So some things you have to, like, because Mod Podge is, like, kind of creates a plastic surface. So certain things you wouldn't be able to utilize anymore because the slick surface, like, you couldn't really use colored pencils, things like that. So you have to be kind of mindful of what you would want to use ahead of time. But I think what I'm going to do with the letters is I'm going to go ahead and write with acrylic marker, I think. That's what I'm thinking. I might use gold. I know silver is what's on here. I'm just afraid silver might not show up as well. Let's see here. Remember, always shake your Posca markers with the lid on. Or acrylic marker, Posca marker. Whatever type of marker you're using that could shoot paint out. Okay. Sorry. These are new, so I just wanted to see if I had one that I had already started and I didn't. So you just have to, with Posca markers, you shake them up and then you just gently push the nibs down until the paint actually comes to the end of the nib, and then that's how it'll start writing for you. You gotta give them a nice big shake first. Oh, there we go. So there's that one, and then, oh yeah, I got a new pack of gold and a new pack of silver, and it's the 0.7 millimeter. I have this size. I thought I had it for the gold. Oh, I do have a gold in the gold and the silver, but for some reason, this particular one, it's the 1 millimeter, I guess, 1M. It doesn't come out very well. The paint doesn't. It's really weird, and I end up wasting more of it, like on the paper as it squirts out the friggin' thing, than I do like actually getting it to write on my design or whatever. So I was like, well, I'll try these instead, and hopefully they'll work better. We're gonna find out. They come in, I think I bought 3 packs, so it came with 3. I have fatter ones, but it seems like I can only find this size, the size I just showed you, and then like really fat. And when I'm going to be writing something, I don't usually want really fat. I don't think this silver is going to stick up. I don't think it's going to stand out enough. No. I don't even know if the gold's going to, now that I see it, but I'll try it, and then if I need to shift gears, I will. No big deal. I'm like trying to see. I'm gonna have like 975 lights on, so I can see what I'm doing here. See the letters. Because if I'm using acrylic markers, then I can paint over. I can use another acrylic marker to paint over it if I need to, if I don't feel like it's dark enough. See that? It's not going to be screaming at you in your face. But this is my journal. It's not like it's a, a book for just anybody to be nosing through. Although, anybody could look at my sketchbook. Sometimes I feel like I have a tan when I'm done recording or after live, because I have so many lights. I'm gonna get a sunburn. Concentrate for a minute. Probably could have done one more pass. Over when I traced over, because some of it's kind of hard to see, but that's it's pretty decent. I can see it pretty well. Kind of see it. Like I said, I may be something after I go over it with the Mod Podge that I would maybe go over it again, or even maybe pick. I could have also wrote it a little bit larger. I just didn't want it to be Yeah, I think I would maybe go just a little bit larger if I was gonna like plan it again with the letters. It's funny because I've been actually for a while now um, trying to decide what I wanted to do for the cover of the sketchbook, and I had painted white um, gesso over it like a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, and it's just been sitting there like that with just white. And then I had this idea, so we'll see how it goes. And it doesn't need to be like the paper's fun and bright, and so it's not like it has to have a ton of stuff on it to make it super flashy. I just thought it would be super cute to have a pocket page and to have like a fun colors. And I think that it doesn't have to be super crazy frilly with a million stickers or little details and things. That's one thing I've been learning through working in Canva, especially, is, kind of knowing when to stop designing so that I don't over design, because I'm a lot like Skittles where I like to glitter and color and everything gets a splash of this or whatever, and not everything has to have that. So it's like some things can be a little bit not muted, but just they don't have to be so in your face about with everything. So I've been learning that, and it's been fun to get to kind of be creative in a little bit of a different way, kind of push myself outside my comfort zone on that in that way as well. You can't see my D. What I'll probably end up doing, I think you can see it pretty well, maybe, is after I go over it, I'll probably end up going over it again one more time just to kind of bring it back, or I'll even maybe do it in like bright white instead of the gold. But for now, that's fine. I'm not going to stress about it. But now I'm just trying to think here. About I am going to erase my pencil as well. Now that I have kind of an idea of where I want it, I don't have to have that. That way I can shift it a little bit. Because once I put the Mod Podge layer, then I won't be able to erase it. That seals it in. So I have that kind of be something like that. Drop it down a little bit like that maybe, and then I could have something kind of a little pocket or something maybe in the pocket sticking out. And then I feel like maybe I have this other little stencil here, but I feel like adding anything else is really almost going to be too much. If I could open this, that'd be great. like, I love the paper so much. I think it's okay to just kind of let the paper speak for me. You know, I could use this when once I cover that. I could always kind of do that. That would be kind of cool to put that instead, or like over that with maybe gold or the silver or something. Yeah, it could be neat. And I might not even need it either. I could, because I could use more of the purple end here, and since that's like a little plainer, and then be able to put that across the flap, that could be pretty. Or even this one here with a little sunburst there in the center. I like that idea too. Okay, that seems cute. Now it's just a matter of really deciding how to make a freaking pocket. I feel like my idea sounds good, but I don't know if I actually, like, if I have it glued, are you going to be able to actually get into it at all? I guess it'll work. But I do want to seal this first before and I think I'm going to just leave, you know, if you were here earlier, you saw, like, it has the little claspy thing right underneath here, and I went ahead and covered it up because I don't think I'm going to use it. Like, I know I could to, like, seal it, but I feel like I don't necessarily have to have it. It would cover it. Plus, I do have this if I could figure out a way. And I may just actually tie this through here and have it be just a little dangle, which could be cute. I could have the string or whatever, like, come straight through the center of, like, say, even if I did this one right where that is, and I could have this come through it, and then this could just kind of be like a little dangle. Oh, that'd be cute. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I like that so much because that kind of it takes care of an idea that I was trying to think of, and having just a little bit of weight. And plus, like I said, I'm gonna add more strings to this other little guy. Sorry, my fingers got black paint in it. So that's like little tassels or whatever, I think. So then that will give it even more weight, so that when it's shut, it'll keep it a little bit more shut, if you will. And then I might even paint this a color. I won't worry about that right now, just so that everything's pretty. And I think I'm also gonna paint this probably a color as well. That way, you know, if you see the inside of it, it's not just like this, it's actually like a pretty color. That's what I think. I think that's easier than cutting out another piece of paper and gluing it on the inside. I think it'd just be easier to get a pretty color that I like and paint it. That's what I think. It's a lot of thinking going on today, folks. That's very exhausting for me. That's way too much thinking. Okay. So the reason I want to put Mod Podge, like I said, is because it'll give me a nice seal, and it'll protect the paper so it won't get ripped or scuffed up. But I did kind of go over a little bit too far on this side here. I don't know. Move that for a second. I feel like it would be easier to just get my cutting mat. So I don't have that. I used to have one right next to me, but I don't have it now, I don't think. I moved it. It's over there. To be able to just kind of cut right along that little piece right there. I'll just use maybe this will be all right. I just don't want to totally like cut the table, obviously. So this could just give me just enough to be able to just trim that off because I don't want that overhang. Oops. Did that work at all? Yes. Sort of. Sort of, it did. Now, if we make a pocket page together for August, I'll have all the kinks worked out first. See? This is how we figure it out, right? We figure it out by doing it first. Like anytime I'm going to teach a watercolor class or a mixed media class or anything like that, I've done it several times before I would ever go in to teach it. So I make sure I have all that stuff worked out already. But I didn't know what the heck I was going to do today. Okay, that worked okay. It did rip right here. That's all right, I guess. Okay. These back. I'm using these just as a protector between the cover and the first page here, just so nothing gets on that. Put this back. Okay, and then Mod Podge I have right here, and I'm going to I'm gonna kind of try to go around the edges a little bit. Like this whole edge right here is actually being seen, and that's okay. We're not looking for perfection here. I had an idea. If I ever do it again on a cover, I'll make changes, you know? That's the whole point. So for now though, I'm gonna just I'm gonna use one of the larger, oh, here we go. I have the one I was using earlier with the matte medium, but it's just sitting in water right now. I need to wash it. They're two different products, so I don't want to use the same little spongy foam brush, but I am going to put a glove back on because it can be messy. This is totally different than a totally different application, if you will, than I would necessarily use this for, in a weird way, I guess. And I have a little like empty yogurt container. That's why I save all these and I use them to pour stuff in. So I do have one here in case I need it. For now, I think I'm going to pour directly from my Mod Podge just onto here because it's just one random flat surface. I'm not trying to avoid anything, so I think it'll be easier just to do it that way. I'll start with just a little bit, and then for some reason if I need to bring in a little extra I can, or I can pour it in the little dish. But this is really just to give myself a sealant to protect the paper from the wear and tear of it being a sketchbook and being tossed in a bag, or, you know, just getting scratched up somehow. So this is just a good way to help kind of protect it. And I'm just going straight up to the top of that. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna stick a piece of paper in there too, just to make sure that I don't glue it shut somehow. When it comes to Mod Podge, it does leave a texture, so whatever kind of brush you're using, which is why I like to use the foam brush, it will show that the texture of that. So if you use like a really coarse brush, you'll see that texture when it dries. So whenever, like, I've done lots of artwork with using Mod Podge, different layers and things like that. So like if I am using it to seal like a girl that I've done, you can't see it right now, like their hair or something like that, I always go with the flow of whatever it is that I'm tracing over or painting over. So I would go with the flow of the hair or like the roundness of the face, because you will see a little bit of that texture once it dries. Just something to be aware of if you did not know. I think I'm going to end up gluing some kind of paper or something or other to the other side of this front page as well. I don't have that worked out at all. I just had that thought. I was like, oh wait, that'd be kind of neat to put a little, not a pocket, because that's why I put it on this side, but some other kind of cutesy little idea maybe I can come up with. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. Could be just maybe like a little wins list, like little win of the day, or an idea board, or I don't know, something like that. Could be fun. I'm trying to make sure I get right along, especially this edge here that's exposed, if you will, as much as possible. This is like I said, this is an interesting way to use these supplies. So I'm just seeing if it's even gonna work. I'll let you know. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm gonna wipe this off. Always want to make sure you wipe off the opening. I've forgotten to do it, and then it was really hard to open because it like glued itself shut. So something to be aware of. Okay, put that off to the side for right now. I am going to mute my mic for a second. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I am going to mute it because I'm going to blow dry, and you don't want to hear that. So I'm gonna be here, but you're just not going to be able to hear me, and it's going to be on purpose. It's not going to be because I forgot to unmute my mic. There. Doesn't take too long. And then you see that like it looks like it's like plasticky. It makes this like smooth, slick cover, which is nice. Very cool. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, like all the way through, because I can tell that the inside of the envelope, because the paper got wet, is going to take a little while longer to dry. But I'm going to kind of move along a little bit. I won't be able to finish it probably while on camera, because there are some things I'm going to have to wait or do in order to prepare. But that's fine. I just thought I'd bring you along with me for a little bit and see what's up. I am going to, I think, go ahead and make this. Ooh, what I think this will be better. Because I was like, oh, this is like a weird shape, right? But what I think I'm going to do is cut a piece long enough for, to go across here. But then use another piece, and I'm going to glue or I'm going to like how can I explain it? So that it'll be like it would just slide over and just slip on or whatever, and then I can glue it to both sides of that. So then it's just glued onto the flap, but I'm going to make my own. God, that was the worst possible way to explain that in the history of the world. Dear Barbara. Oh my goodness. What am I even doing here? Okay, so we know that needs to be 9. What did I do with my cutter? See, this is what I do when I'm working by myself. Like, I'm like, what did I do? Oh, I set this over here, and then I set it over here, and then seriously, I put things down, and then I don't know what I did with them. If you see it, please let me know. I'll have to use my, oh, here it is, see? It's because I'm looking for my other one. It's like a little bit bulkier. Oh, Lanta. Okay. So I think I'll use both of those. I use a little bit of each of these to make my strip up here. Let's see. How long is that? Got this ruler. I took 2 drawing classes at our local college, and I hate these rulers because I can't see, it's hard to see where the letters are. Okay, I'm gonna make it 2 inches, I think. Okay, I just didn't know how wide to make it. I know my cutter has the little measurement thing, but sometimes it's easier for me to at least have a little bit of an idea first. Especially, it's because of the way the cutter is, it's not exactly going to work. I kind of needed to measure it out first so I'd know where the 2 inches were. Because this is a weird one. It doesn't have the, yeah, I don't like this one at all. This cutter. But anywho, I digress. I'll have to try to find my other one. I stuck it somewhere. I also need to change the blade, I think, in this one as well, so. Still better than using scissors. But yeah, you can tell the blade needs changed because it's leaves that furry stuff. This is coming along nicely. Perfectly? No. Nicely? Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's ever perfect in art unless you're doing digital, maybe, and like copying and pasting, I guess. I've never had anything be perfect, I don't think. Even when I've tried to make eyeballs, the eye is perfectly symmetrical. Don't even try. Can't even try. No reason to even try. Putting that over here. Remind me. So I have these two pieces. I'll have to make them a little shorter, but I would kind of put together. And then make it the flap. I guess I could have used, one piece and folded it. That would have been good too, but I just didn't have enough left of the paper that I had. So this is fine, I think. This one. Something like that. Could glue down this one first and then this one. I think that'd be neat. What do you think? I think so. I'm gonna make it just a little bit wider than the actual envelope, so it'd kind of stick out just a little bit farther, I think. And then I'm gonna just kind of maybe I'll make it like 9 and a. Do like 9 and a half. See what that looks like first. But I'm just going to cut them together using the scissors. It's probably not going to be straight. I just lost my line. Oh, for the love of Pete. Oh my gosh, you're such a nerd. I'm such a nerd. I picked the way wrong pencil, that's for sure. Can't hardly even see it under normal circumstances. There we go. Okay. And then I will, like I said, glue one to one and then the other to the other. And then they'll be glued together, and then they'll become their own little flap. That's a cute idea, I think. I think we could roll with that. I'm just trying to decide which one I want. This one would be kind of nice to be on top because it matches this one. So the flow is kind of nice, and then have this piece be on the inside, I think would be better. Yeah. I think they're still a little bit too long though. Just a hair. Just a hair too long. Oh wow, that is That is some crooked cutting. That's funny. Okay. I think I will. I'm probably going to use, this would have been a great project to do outside because I'm just going to keep using some of that spray glue. But I think I'm going to put some of this glue first onto here, but then I'm going to use the spray adhesive directly onto this piece of paper and then put it on. That way I just have to use a tiny bit. I don't have to get crazy. Use this to get like super right up against the edges there. 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 That's so pretty. Turn it back around here. So, you seeing the vision? You're seeing the vision now. I like that a lot. That's kind of neat. And then with my little pocket, and what I think, whenever I put this down as well, I'm gonna put like I'll do like a large chunky outline around it with my one of my acrylic markers, and maybe bring in a few other little fun little gelatos or something like that. Maybe I don't know yet for sure, but I think that's cute. And then I think I will probably I'll have to somehow either I'll either have to write this again but with a different color, probably maybe white, so that it would stand out better, or get another piece of paper maybe and make a circle and cover it so that I could make it larger. Like, those are kind of the two options I think I have at this point. Yeah. I do want to mark the whole where that's at. I used to have a paper cutter. I guess I could I just want to make it so that the hole is actually nice for to be able to tie this little charm through before I cover it up. Before I cover up the bottom and then I can't see where that's at, I just want to kind of mark it, I feel like. That's not going to work. Oh, let's see. make a little X here, I guess, with this, and then that way I'll know where it's at, and then I can cut that out later. I think that'll work. I think that'll work okay. I can't lay it down flat now since I don't have, since there's it's on a ring binder, so I can't lay it flat to be able to really cut it very well. Let's see what I can do. Again, if I had my little mat, I'd use it, but I don't have that over here, and I'm not getting up again right this second, so. You live and you learn. Like, there are certain things I could see that I would do differently, maybe. But I've never done anything like this before, so bear with me. Okay, that's pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Yeah. And then, like I said, I'm gonna glue the other side like that. That way it's colored on both sides. But then have this kind of tied through the middle. Somehow, I guess I'll just tie around the flap like that. Just tie through it, I guess. Something like that, maybe. Could be kind of cute. That's what I think. That's what I think. So, get this glued on. It's funny, I cut both of these the same size, but yet one's still a little bit smaller for some reason. That's all right. Okay, so do the same thing where I'm going to put just a little bit of the glue directly onto my paper. Remember, kids, probably don't do this at home. And then use a little bit of this. I could just get that adhesive wet. That'd be smart, probably. But just to be able to get all the way to the edge. Use a little bit of that glue stick as well. Flip that right back around to me. And this time I want to try to glue this edge pretty well together, if I can. There. And then I'll cut that little hole out too. Oh, yeah. That on here. Little moon. Maybe some little doodles and things. Make that maybe a little bigger, like I said. That's pretty cute though. I'm pretty happy with it. Could also even, I'm trying to think, like, trace another moon, even though I already had one. Trace it and paint it in, or at least part of it, and then shift this one down so it's almost like an echo of a moon. This would be. So I might do that too. But I think this is all I'm going to do on camera for today. Because I'm just going to keep kind of trying to figure some stuff out, I guess. I don't even know how long I've been on today. I have no idea. So, yeah, I appreciate you. Scooch back over here. Joining me today for this impromptu live. And yeah, if you love junk journaling or if you've done pocket pages before, I would love any direction, any input, any supplies, anything, because I do believe that it should be on Thursday, I believe, is when we'll have our live. That's when I tend to try to do most of the Moonbeam Sketchbook Guild lives are on Thursday, so I probably will do Thursday, usually around 6 p.m. I think I'm going to make a pocket page for the August theme, so I'll be releasing kind of all of that information. You'll learn a lot more about it on Thursday. I always kind of like to post little tidbits and things like that. I do post them on my Patreon, sometimes on Facebook, and also on the community tab here in YouTube. So be sure to kind of remember to check those out. But yeah, so I'll be back for that. But I'd love any input, any advice, anything that you might have as far as that goes before then, because I always check the comments and everything. So yeah, thanks for joining me for a little bit, and I hope that you're able to practice some gratitude today, or maybe some harvest while if you live someplace that's not rainy and yucky outside for Lunasaw, the first harvest festival. But I am gracious that I got to spend time arting with you guys today, and if you're watching this now or in the future, I am so grateful for you, and I thank you so much for being here with me. And until next time, stay luminous and keep creating magic.